Most users approach the internet as a passive, neutral archive, a digital library where the most relevant or factual content naturally surfaces at the top of the search results. That image of the neutral library shatters beneath the interface. The modern web is a heavily refereed battlefield, where every headline is contested territory. Two distinct factions fight for dominance in this arena. On one side, a sprawling network of independent creators. On the other, a highly organized structure of institutional gatekeepers. A single post reaches your feed only after surviving a gauntlet of suppression attempts and algorithmic hurdles, the outcome of a direct struggle between grassroots facts and top-down control. The independent network is a decentralized web of vloggers, anonymous posters, and researchers who operate outside of traditional media structures to document events in real time. The institutional side is comprised of corporate lobbies, political spin doctors, and heavily funded organizations that possess the resources to shape public perception on a global scale. These groups pursue opposing goals. The independents work to keep information flows open and unrestricted, while the institutions prioritize maintaining a singular, controlled narrative. These factions dictate the life cycle of every news story, determining which events ignite global conversation and which are scrubbed from the digital record before they can gain traction. The independent network relies on a decentralized architecture. Because these nodes are scattered and unconnected, there is no single point of failure for an opponent to attack, bypassing the traditional hubs of information control. This network utilizes surveillance to monitor power. Surveillance is the act of the public recording and monitoring powerful institutions from the bottom up, projecting their focus upward to document actions that would otherwise remain hidden. These recordings are distributed via anonymous microblogging. Microblogging is the practice of posting short, rapid-fire updates online, a mechanism that allows information to travel faster than institutional sensors can react. The network's most effective tool is the organizing hashtag. A hashtag is a metadata tag used to categorize content. It instantly binds thousands of isolated reports into a unified, high-visibility force that the central pillars cannot ignore. This system weaponizes raw evidence to route around mainstream media's editorial gatekeepers, forcing verified facts into the public view before they can be reframed. By dismantling the institutional monopoly on what counts as the truth, this decentralized system forced those in power to engineer a new, much more aggressive method of digital defense. To counter the speed of independent networks, institutions have shifted to a defensive strategy built on corporate lobbying and legal maneuvering. The primary defense is the redaction of documents. By using legal classification to hide source materials, the institution blocks the flow of evidence, starving independent researchers of the facts they need to build a case. When direct suppression is impossible, they use bureaucratic tools. They draft terms of service rules that are thousands of words long, allowing them to classify decentralized reporting as unsafe and remove it under the guise of platform security. If a story gains traction despite these hurdles, the Institutional Bloc uses spin, employing media proxies to manufacture scapegoats and bury the original facts under a layer of conflicting opinions. Modern institutional control functions through exhaustion. It wraps the truth in bureaucratic red tape and weaponized confusion until the public simply loses interest in seeking the facts. Beyond the two teams, we have to look at the digital environment itself. The platforms act as referees, maintaining a surface-level appearance of fairness while their internal mechanics tilt the game. This diagram shows the function of the recommendation algorithm. An algorithm is a set of programmed rules that determines what content is displayed to a user. It silently filters the colored spheres of independent voices, while allowing identical institutional narratives to pass through unimpeded. Content that challenges the status quo is shunted into a dark void of low visibility, while safe institutional content is automatically elevated onto pedestals, ensuring it reaches the widest possible audience. Because institutions exert influence over platform rules and the design of these filters, the digital environment is structurally biased against decentralized information, regardless of the accuracy of the data. This struggle has resulted in a permanent stalemate. The internet is now split between a glowing, interconnected grassroots network and a rigid fortress of institutional and legal barriers. Modern browsing happens inside a closed loop of proprietary filters and legal boundaries, where every click is steered by commercial interests, and every search result is filtered through a corporate lens. Every trending topic or viral clip is an active skirmish in this war. These pieces of media are being pushed by one architecture and suppressed by another, long before they ever appear on your screen. In this environment, passive consumption is no longer an option. If you do not understand the mechanics of the battle, you are simply accepting the version of reality provided by the side that currently controls the algorithm. Surviving this ecosystem requires radical digital literacy. Radical digital literacy is an active mindset where a user analyzes the architecture of a platform instead of just reacting to the content on their screen. This requires a shift in focus. When you see a breaking story, you must look past the emotional headline and analyze the delivery mechanism. You are looking for the plumbing that brought this specific information to your specific device. The vital question is no longer, is this true, but who is organizing to amplify this and who is trying to suppress it? By mapping these invisible systems, you can identify the gaps in the institutional fortress and seek out the data the filters are designed to hide. Understanding the mechanics of the narrative war is the only way to move from being a target of the algorithm to an active participant in the digital landscape.